أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وإمامنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، تب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم يا شافي اشفي أمراضنا. اللهم يا شافي اشفي أمراضنا وأمراض المسلمين. اللهم يا شافي اشفي أمراضنا وأمراض المسلمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أكرم الأكرمين يا أجود الأجودين. اللهم رب الناس أذهب البأس اشفي أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما. اللهم رب الناس أذهب البأس اشفي أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما. اللهم رب الناس أذهب البأس اشفي أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, Salah is at 7, so inshallah we'll try to at least cover the first half of this topic, and then after Salah inshallah we'll cover the other half, and then obviously we'll take questions and answers inshallah ta'ala. A lot of people, one of the questions they ask regarding the Ruqya treatment is that how does it work, and sometimes they even ask why is it not working, or sometimes they ask why is it getting worse. So these are some of the questions people ask regarding Ruqya. And how does it work? That question is more like if it's for the sake of finding answers, then there isn't many books, or there isn't many articles out there. There aren't many articles out there with which answers this question in a very comprehensive or perfect, complete way. But a lot of patients ask, how does this Ruqya treatment work in terms of because they see it's not working or it's getting worse. So that's when they ask that question. So inshallah we'll try to cover some of these matters. So I will try to, if you have pen and paper, it's good, because I'm going to go in detail and I want you to take notes, or if you have mobile, take notes on it, because I will give you detailed information. So firstly, how does Ruqya treatment work when it comes to non-Muslims? When it comes to non-Muslims, or you can rephrase the question, that is, does Ruqya treatment work on non-Muslims or not? Yeah. So the exact treatment the Muslim does the same treatment work for a non-Muslim if he or she was to do the treatment, without faith, without belief in Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, without being a Muslim, what defines being a Muslim in terms of belief and faith? Without being a Muslim, can the same treatment work if they were to perform it upon themselves, or someone else was to perform it upon them? Would it work? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. And why did I start with this issue first? Because knowing the answer of this, then you will know how the actual treatment works. You'll have grasp of the issue, how the actual treatment works. So once you know that this treatment can work on a non-Muslim who doesn't even believe in Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, right, then you actually will know how exactly this treatment works, or will have better understanding of it. So for example, if Surah Fatiha or Ayat al-Kursi or the Quls were recited upon a non-Muslim, or the Zamzam water was given, or the recited water and recited oil was given, or hijama was done, if they have sihr or shayateen possession, then the cure will, or the means of cure will have same effect as if it was performed or done upon a Muslim. No difference. Yeah. So what is the fundamental source of cure then, if is interconnected between a Muslim and non-Muslim being cured with the same treatment? What is that thing that connects the treatment? The fundamental thing. What is that connects that Muslim and non-Muslim in terms of the cure itself? What is it? It is, number one, intention. Number one is the intention. Next. Okay. Number one is the intention. Now I'm going to go in detail when it comes to the intention. I'm going to go in detail. So write number one, intention, and then leave some gap, and I'm going to give you number two, and I'm going to give you number three. Yeah. So number two, so leave some gap after intention. Number two is the means in of itself, the physical means in of itself. They're the fundamental source of cure. Again, leave some gap. And number three is how the person innerly and outwardly battles with the illness. The cure is dependent on how, that's number three, how the person sees the illness and how he or she battles it mentally, psychologically, and also spiritually. That's the third. These three are fundamental source of cure. So as you can see, these three do not necessarily have to be done by a Muslim, yeah, in order to achieve the cure. So for example, a non-Muslim can have an intention to be cured. He or she can utilize the means of cure without belief in Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. They simply believe that this will cure them. Yeah, they don't have to have the belief of a Muslim. Yeah? They simply believe this will cure them. That's it. They believe this as a medicine as a cure, i.e. as a medicine to cure the illness. And number 3, they battle it. They see it, this is an illness, and they battle it, and they overcome it mentally, psychologically, spiritually. Spiritually, to them, it could be simply seeking help of a greater being. Ultimately, it obviously is Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, but to them it may not be particularly the Allah that we believe in, but ultimately they seek help from Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala without them knowing, and they rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then obviously the cure comes, but they don't believe per se the belief of Allah that we believe in. So let's go back to the first one, intention. Intention, the Muslim intends that the cure comes from Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala himself directly, and indirectly with the means. So if directly Allah Jalla wa Ala wills this person to be cured, khalas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cures him or her. Whatever the issue is, whatever the illness is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly wills for this individual to be cured, and thereby Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cures him or her. This is without taking any means. This cure usually takes place at the end of the trial of illness. Usually when it comes to Muslims, this cure takes place at the end of the trial of an illness, when a person has taken all the means and exhausted themselves, and eventually they beg Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they prostrate to him, they exalt him, and they make dua to Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, or they perform ibadah, and then that cure comes directly from Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if the sihr left, even if the shayateen left, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removes the sihr from the individual and remove the shayateen from the individual. So this is a direct cure from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without taking any particular ruqya means or specific ruqya means. This type of cure doesn't take place when it comes to the non-Muslim. If it does, it is indirect, it's never direct. If it does, it's not direct, it's indirect. For example, a raqi recites on a non-Muslim, or a raqi makes dua for the non-Muslim to be cured, and the non-Muslim becomes cured. So this is indirect, not direct. So the direct cure, when a slave calls to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the intention, with the beliefs for the cure, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly cures the individual without any means, without utilizing any means. As I said, this usually takes place at the end of the journey of illness, at the end of the journey of the illness. The reason I say this is because the illness in of itself, there is a reason behind Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the illness in the first place. And thereby you expecting that as soon as you make dua you'll be cured, it's unrealistic, it's not realistic. So this, what happens is when you make dua, and when you cry, and when you weep, when you prostrate, and you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the cure, and it doesn't come, because you're expecting it and it doesn't come, you become eventually frustrated. Sometimes you can become angry with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You may not understand His wisdom and supreme wisdom and so forth, and the negativity creeps in, and then the sihr and the shayateen take advantage of that. So it's very important to understand that illness, like medical illness, spiritual illness is same. It has a journey, it has a trial, it has a purpose behind it, and the ultimate purpose is that you be born with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you become close with Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you witness Him internally first and foremost, and then you witness Him outwardly. If you miss that point, yeah, then even if you do get cured, the fruit of the trial you may not have achieved. That's why people who run after the cure very quickly and they try to find quick fix, for them it becomes worse of a trial than it was ought to be. So this is something fundamental that you have to realize, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose you to go through this trial. It's a journey, and at the end Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to attain something very high, something very noble in the coming life. Remember, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ashadul Bala'i, the most severest people who to go with the trials are Anbiya, Thumma Salihuna Fal-Amthal Wal-Amthal. The most severest people who have to go through a trial are the Anbiya, and then the Salihun, the righteous and the upright, and then those who are according to that level of ranks and status. So you going through trial is not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows there's something khair in you which is so great that in order for Jalla wa'ala to bring that out, to produce it, He has to give you this trial. No one is trialed by the sihr and the shayateen, except that they are, by default, they are special people in the sight of Allah Jalla wa'ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the first intention you make is that I want this cure to come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly, and you make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you prostrate, you increase your ibadat, you increase your bond with Him Jalla wa ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, you get rid of any shirkiyat in your hearts and in your minds regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the first intention you make. That doesn't mean that because you made the intention the cure will come straight away. It may take 5 years, it may take 10 years, it may take 15 years, it may take 40 years. Yeah? But eventually, when that cure comes, you will feel amazing. You will feel amazing. Now, just on a side note, just because the cure, the ultimate cure may be delayed, that doesn't mean you will be stopped from performing or doing as a human what you're meant to do, what you're meant to perform. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even for if He delays the cure, He will allow you to perform or fulfill your duties of a human being. He will not completely stop you or prevent you with the illness, a complete stoppage of your life. That is rare. That is rare. Yeah? So just because the cure is, the ultimate cure is delayed, that doesn't mean the process of the cure is delayed. No. The process of the cure can start from day one when you made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you to be cured. Obviously this part, non-Muslims are not within it. Yeah, they are not within it because they, even if they ask Allah Jalla wa ala indirectly. They're simply seeking from the Supreme Being that cure, that level of cure. The second intention you make is the intention of undoing and burning of the sources. Undoing and burning of the sources. The source, it could be sihr. The source could be evil eye. The source could be mas. such as jinn possessing without evil eye or without sihr. Any three could be the source. What you intend is undoing or the burning of the source. What this does is, this makes the deception and the hiding of the sihr, or deception and the hiding of the person who gave the evil eye, or the jinn or the shaitan who gave the evil eye, or the jinn who came and possessed, it exposes them straight away. And when you then recite and do the treatments, it targets them directly. So they are not hidden anymore to your intentions, and they are not hidden anymore to your recitations and to your treatments. They are become a direct target of your intention, and then they become direct target of your treatments. And this is sunnah of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has legislated that whatever we do, in order for us to reap the fruits, we have to do it consciously and intentionally. If you do something unintentionally, it's not taken into account. It's not even sometimes rewarded. Yeah. So the way just Allah has created the creation is that you do it, you perform deeds and actions consciously and also intentionally, then the fruits are conscious, you attain it consciously, and also you know exactly what you attain in terms of the fruits, because it was intentional. A lot of times the patients, they make general intention, and thereby it takes longer time for them to expose what is wrong with them, yeah, or for them to target the source. So you have to intend specifically that these treatments, I'm targeting it to the source. Yeah. So when you do not know the source, make the three intentions: sihr, evil eye, and mas. Yeah. Once you know exactly what's wrong with you, so you may know, okay, this is mas, this is not sihr, or you may know this is evil eye, or you may know this is sihr, it's not evil eye, it's not mas. So once you know specifically exactly what's wrong with you, yeah, then make more specific intention. So now you make the source of the actual sihr. So now you've got sihr. Now you make the intention of burning and curing yourself from the source of sihr. Write that down, because sihr, a person when he or she does sihr, they may do many sihr, but one or two or three will be the source. One or two or three will be the source, which all the other sihr depends upon. As soon as you undo that, every other sihr will be most likely become either weak or will become undone. Yeah. So once you found that you've got sihr, intend the source of it. Yeah. The source could vary. So the source could be the first sihr that was done on you or on your family. Yeah. Are you writing this down? Yeah. On your phone. Because as I said, I'm not going to detail. If you miss it, you missed it. And the recording, you may get it later on. Okay, so I say again, once you found that you've got sihr, then you intend to burn the sihr and to undo the sihr, the main and the source of the sihr. So the source of the sihr, right, can be the first sihr that was done on you or on your family. So it could have been done on your father, or it could have been done on your mother, for example, and then a specific one was done on you or on your wife, yeah, or on your spouse or on your child. So the source is the father or the mother. That's the source. So once you intend the burning of the source, then when you recite, you're not targeting the sihr that's on you. Now you're targeting the sihr that's on your father or on your mother, which is the source. As soon as you begin to attack the source, you will see reactions from your mother or your father. Yeah? And then slowly, eventually, once you burn that, once you undo that, then it'll become easier to undo your sihr and cure you. I'll make a statement, make sure you note this down. Most of the sihr that the raqis are unable to cure is because the patients don't have the source. I'll say that one more time. Most of the sihr the raqis are unable to cure is because the patients themselves, they do not have the source of the sihr. The source of the sihr is on the parents or on the grandparents. Yeah? So until and unless that source is dealt with and treated, obviously there are exceptions. Sometimes because of the taqwa of the person and because of the recitation, the severe treatment, it breaks this individual's sihr, it breaks the previous generation, it breaks the previous generation because of the level of taqwa and ibadat and dhikr and adhkar and consistent, constant, intensive ruqya treatment. But that's rare, exceptional cases. Generally, we all have shortcomings, and thereby we struggle to do the treatment, let alone go in and go to the source of the sihr and asking them to do the treatment. Yeah. So intend the source. As soon as you intend the source of the sihr or of the evil or of the mas, the person who has the source, they will be reacting. They will react. Yeah, they will have abnormal hate towards you, or they will have abnormal obsessive love towards you. Yeah, or they'll have abnormal mood swings towards you. Yeah, specifically, you will be the target. That's when how you know that he or she may be the source. If you have all three, so you've got sihr, you've got evil eye, you've got mas also, then what do? Intend all three, the sources of all three. So intend, for example, the sources of sihr, intend the sources of evil eye, and intend the sources of mas. Once you make those intentions and you target them in your recitations, in your dhikr, adhkar, in your dua, in your prostrations, you target them specifically, they will be exposed. They will be exposed, and then they will attack you. Yeah? Then they will attack you. The sihr will attack you, the evil eye will attack you, the shayateen will attack you. That's when the actual battle starts. Is when you specify them and you target them. Before that, the battle hasn't started. That's why people say, why is it getting worse? It gets worse because the battle just started. And this is when it gets worse, people tend to give in and give up. People tend to give in and give up because they think, oh, I can't handle it. La, this is the battle, because they're exposed, because they tend to work with you from the subconscious. So you can't even recognize if you think it's you, but it really is not you. So they work behind the scenes from the subconscious. Soon as you attack them consciously, now they're exposed. Because now they're exposed, they attack you whilst you're awake, whilst you're conscious. Is that clear? But that is the beginning of the weakness. That is the beginning of them, you fighting them and killing them or burning them. That is the beginning of their destruction. As soon as they're exposed, that is the beginning. So getting worse is good. It's good news. It's not bad news. Getting worse is a good news. Good news is that they are exposed, and they are exposed to your harm. They are exposed to your strikes and attacks. Now you can attack them. Now you can, because you expose them, you can attack them directly. Another way to find out the source is you recite on your family members and your family members recite on you. You recite on your family members and your family members recite on you. So, suppose you're reciting on your father. He doesn't react. Recite on your mother reacts. Your father recites on you, you don't react. Your mother recites on you, you react. That means what? What does that mean? Yeah, there is a connection between the son and the mother. So the most likely the source is where? On the mother. Is that clear? And usually the source is on the mother. Usually. Source is on the mother. Especially if your mother has a split personality. Yeah? That's a sign she is the source. I'll stop here because some of you may need to make wudu. Inshallah ta'ala, and we'll continue after salah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi as-samil 'alim minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin nabiyyina wa imamina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So as we were explaining before Asr Salah, that the intention is the most important, the conscious intention is the most important aspect of a person's cure. And then targeting the particular sihr or the particular thing that's impacting you, affecting you. Be it sihr, be it evil eye, be it possession. Once you found out, then you target it more specifically, and then once you found that out, then you try to target or find out where is the source or who is the source. Then the actual physical treatment after you do is very easy for cure. Say that again. So after you found what's exactly wrong with you from the three, then you find out who is the source or where is the source. Like for Sallallahu, he found out the source was in the well, in a comb of with his hair. Yeah. So you either find out who is the source or where is the source. Yeah. And obviously through Ruqya treatment you can find that out. And after that, whatever Ruqya treatment comes with you or you perform, the cure is very easy, because now it's just about targeting the source and undoing the sihr, targeting the source, burning the shayateen, targeting the source and burning the evil eye. So it becomes very easy now, because you know exactly who did it and why they did it, or where is the source, or what is the source. Is that clear? So that was number one, intention.